What's poppin', T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I'm here with tonight's All Tea, All Shade, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 3, Episode 12 review. Okay, so on tonight's episode, it's the last day of the Vegas trip, thank God. Kimmy talks to Tisha about Marcel not wanting to renew their vows and asks did it bother her. And Tisha admits that their marriage has been rocky lately over the last 3 years and that he's under a lot of stress. She goes on to say how she wants more family time and gets emotional and starts to cry. And she feels that at some point she just gotta get past it and move on. That's what's problem with their relationship now is that he makes her feel like her feelings aren't valid and don't need to be acknowledged. It's not a situation where you just need to get over it and move on. You need to put your foot down that he needs to spend more time with you and your kids. Like, that's non-negotiable. Like, these aren't just my children, they're yours as well. Of course, you need to make money to provide for us as a family, but you don't want to lose your family in the process. Like, make it make sense. So Kimmy was like, uh when the guys can't be there, that they have to be there for each other, and that this is pretty much what they signed up for, marrying a Scott. These heifers making my titties hurt, girl. Okay, all right. I mean, if that's what they willing to settle for, then God bless them. Um, and they also say that they're gonna leave the situation, and when they got into it in Vegas, and not bring that back home. So Tiffany tells her, hey, hey, I am still too sore to be playing. That Destiny pulled her to the side after the whole chapel whatever fiasco and said that she wanted to see if they could work on things, and that they decided they're gonna meet up for a spa day so they can talk shit out. Kimmy and Tisha already said that part. Martell says that he might be depressed and not even know it. He's sitting out talking to Marceau and Maurice. And Marceau was like, I'll never do what I've done this year again. I've never given this much time for money. I was like, maybe I might be mildly depressed. So both of these niggas depressed. One depressed because he got too much work, and the other one depressed because he ain't got no work. Child. So Tiffany visits Mel at her office or whatever, and they discuss Vegas. And no, but before they discuss Vegas, Mel apologizes to Tiffany for not answering her call because she had went to Tiffany about her helping her hire some interns to help, her with her businesses or whatever. But when Tiffany called her, she ignored her phone call and didn't call her back. And she said that after the Vegas trip, she just needed to decompress and take a moment for herself because there was a lot to deal with. I can understand that, but you could have just literally picked up the phone and said that. Especially when you called me and asked me for my help. But okay, I digress, folks. So she then apologizes on Destiny's behalf for saying that she would drag her. Um, I don't think Destiny would appreciate you apologizing on her behalf. I feel like that'll be another thing where she's saying that you like protecting Tiffany for whatever reason. I feel like she should let that be Tiffany and Destiny's thing. Mel was like, I'm sensitive to her because I know what she's been through, and sometimes you lash out at the wrong people, which I do agree with. I do think that Destiny was taking out some of her issues with LeBrick on other people. I still have an issue with her not being forthcoming about her own issues instead of picking fights with other people. So the focus can't be on her failed marriage. Tiffany tells her that Destiny reached out, and Mel was like, good, because I need y'all to get on point because my friend calling you my new bestie, like I done forgot about her. And before some behind the scenes tea on the episode before last week's episode, Mel had took to her Instagram to say this. She was like, first, ain't nothing coming between me and Destiny in real life. We already know what time it is, and she knows if there was ever war in real life, let's go. That's been proven in real life. So what y'all think doesn't matter when it comes to that. Furthermore, for those who don't get me, you don't have to. But let me set a few things straight. One, I like clear communication. So I wasn't defending Tiffany, but I did want to specifically state it with examples how the group wants her to move forward. So that way, if something goes down, ain't no excuses. That's how I move in real life too. You can't say you didn't understand or didn't know because it ain't gonna be no gray areas. Two, I said it that night and I'm gonna say it now. Everybody asks questions and shares things in this group that are super personal, etc. I think everyone agreed to do reality TV. No forcing. Three, keep in mind everything doesn't make air. I did agree that the way Tiffany said some things that night were out of order and could have been done differently. We had another entire convo at that table as well that was super personal that didn't make the cut and people poked at another castmate on something she didn't want to discuss. Four, I ain't about to war with grown women about their feelings. Either get along or don't, like each other or don't. But can we please decide and move on? I don't think I invited Tiffany to Vegas. Let's make up our minds, people, and stop thinking Mel is behind everything. Now, I do have a question. If this Tiffany drama wasn't going on the past, damn, seems like 10 episodes at this point, what would people on the show be talking about? Would there be any storylines? I'm just saying, let's keep it 100. Everybody literally has had, and then it cut off. But she did have a lot of logical things to say about Tiffany and this whole Tiffany Destiny situation and whether or not she's been protecting Tiffany. And like I keep on reminding you guys, this is a reality show at the end of the day. They are there to do a job. Um, I personally feel like Destiny has been the one that's been doing team too much and started most of this shit. And like I said, misplacing her anger towards people that she don't need to have an attitude with. Um, so Martell and his mini me, little Martell meet up with and his boys about him playing baseball. He a kid. He was just learning. He did his best as he could do. So as little Martell is, practicing, Martell and go out to the side and talk. And Louis asks what's going on with him and Mel, because Las Vegas was a mess. And Martell was like, it bothers me that the kids know these songs about me. And I was like, well, nigga, they wouldn't know the songs about your ass if you would have never been sticking your dick in all over Huntsville, nigga. So Louis asks, has he thought about anger management? And Martell says that he feels like his anger is very well managed. And I was like, girl, if your anger is well managed, I didn't just have a lumpectomy. Nigga, you really need help. Like, he needs to lay his head on young little mammy titties. I personally think it's them clothes. It's them clothes that got this nigga so angry. That nigga is under a ton of stress because he can barely breathe. His blood is not circulating well. The blood is not getting to his head because his fucking arm sleeves be cutting off the circulation. His pants be too motherfucking tight. The nigga heart probably ain't even pumping right because his chest is so fucking compressed for them tight ass shirts. That's the nigga real problem. He mad because he can't buy himself no new clothes. So Martell then goes on to say that Mel has a babysitter a lot. I talked to her about it and she says that she's busy. I don't want a babysitter raising my kids. I really think I want to mention that I want the kids full time. And I just roll my eyes at this point because it's obvious what he's doing. A, he wants camera time. B, he knows it's another way to get under Mel's skin to get a rise out of her. And he just likes to poke and bug her. And he knows what buttons to push to get under her fucking skin. But Mel keeps on playing into it because there's still so much anger and hurt and resentment there on her end that she needs to resolve on her own. Hopefully she is in therapy or something because it's obvious that he still has a tether on her emotions, and I hate it for her. I hate that for her. So Louis was like, "You think that's best for the kids?" And Martell was like, "Most definitely." And even Louis was looking at him like, "You can't possibly think that's best for the kids. They just went through y'all having a divorce. I hope y'all don't think that these kids are not seeing and hearing what the hell is going on because they do. These kids are going through a lot, and I hope that they are in counseling as well." So Louis was like, "How you think she's going to respond to that?" And Martell was like, "She might say yeah." Knowing damn well he talking out the side of his motherfucking neck. So Kimmy and Maurice have a double date with Tisha and Marceau. And when they sit down, Kimmy gonna tell Tisha that she looking more and more like Wanda, especially with her hair like that. And I was like, see, you already starting off on that bullshit. Cause I would have been pissed off you tell me I look like fucking Wanda and her Krispy Kreme ass hairdos. You gotta be fucked up. So Marceau and his confession was like, there is never a morning where I want to wake up and see Wanda. And I was like, hey, the fuck man. So Kimmy brings up Marcel having depression. And Tisha was like, he hasn't even brought it up to me. And I was like, he don't bring shit up to you, girl. He don't tell you nothing. This is not news to you. So Maurice was like, I need to know if it's stress or depression. And Marcel, they talk about it, but he refuses to get help because he don't even want to know if it's a problem that he needs to solve. Because I feel like in his mind, it's just another thing on my plate that I have to deal with, which is ridiculous when it comes to your mental health. You cannot take that lightly because your mental health can actually start affecting your actual health. So Tisha was like, let me know, he needs to let me know if there's anything I need to do. And he was like, you can listen more. And Tisha in her confession was like, I feel like all I do is listen to him. And I was like, exactly, like Marceau says jump, she says how high. So, like, what more do you want this girl to do? The thing is, you don't listen to her. So Tisha goes on to say that he needs to talk to her about his feelings. And Kimmy was like, he could get a therapist though too as well. And Tisha was like, you can start with your spouse. And Kimmy was like, sometimes it could be your spouse. And I was like, ooh, Jesus, the wrong thing to say, especially with y'all saying y'all gonna work on things and mend things, because I do think that Tisha is a problem for Marceau, but I don't think that she's the whole problem. I think that Marceau has a lot of inner demons, inner things from his childhood, the way he grew up, insecurities within himself that he needs to work on. And the fact that he has so much control over Tisha, I feel like feeds his ego. Because remember, we've learned that he used to be fat. We know that he was poor. So I think that he found somebody that was weaker than him that he could control. And it gives him this sense of, vibrato that he can, that like he's the man when it comes to Tisha. Um, so I don't necessarily agree with what Kimmy said that sometimes it can be your spouse. I think that it's the vice versa. For Tisha, it could be her spouse because he don't listen to shit that she got to say. So Tisha, her confession was like, here we go again with the shade. I thought we was starting anew. So Tisha was like, well, who do you confide in if you don't confide in me? Do you confide in Maurice? Marceau was like, give it a second to just self-heal. Like, nigga, you've been going through this for a year. If it ain't healed by now, nigga, then it ain't. So Tisha gets emotional talking about her aunt who refused to go to the doctor when she found a lump and ended up dying. He consoles her and rubs her back. And Maurice was like, I'm sorry, Marceau was like, all of our life we grew up poor. And Maurice says, we grew up poor. So go to therapy with me and we'll find out. And Marceau was like, no, I'm not doing it. So I'm like, once again, he didn't want to renew his vows to his wife. He refused to even say how he felt towards his wife in front of other people, which says a lot. He refuses to go get help. Like, is it a pride thing with him? Does getting help make him feel weak? What is this about? Because, like, girl, to me, you look weak not even getting help or not acknowledging your love for your wife. Is it because you don't love her ass? Is that the problem? Like, I look at Marceau and I see an unhappy person. I feel like he's unhappy in his marriage. It shows with the way that he treats her. I think that he loves his children, but he never really probably wanted to be a father. He don't even probably even know how to be a father. The fact that he doesn't spend time with them, that nigga got a lot of fucked up shit with him. So Martell invites Mel out at the end of the episode because basically she booked and busy and he ain't, and he got a problem with that. That's basically what this whole thing is about. They done got divorced. The check still rolling in for her. The offer still is rolling in for her, and he ain't got now, and he don't know how to feel about that because he's seeing now that when they were together and booked and busy, it was because of her, not because of his ass. And that's why he liked to pretend with the little shit that he be saying that I did this and I did that, and it's obvious you ain't did shit. So, um, Mel comes in, and of course he's skinning and grinning as soon as he see her, and they discuss Vegas, and he slips up and says that he was happy to see her. I really don't think it was a slip up though. I really think that he said that to her ass because he steady trying to figure out ways to get her ass back, and it ain't fucking working. And like a child, when they can't get what they want, they throw temper tantrums. So, Uh, they end up arguing as always about the past. Mel get to talking about how he ain't keep his dick in the pants and you ain't do this and you ain't do that. Why these conversations are still coming up when you all are divorced, I don't understand. Like, why do you continue to let this man get under your skin? As soon as he brought up the conversation of him getting them kids, I would have said, nigga, please, are you dumb? Goodbye, and walked away. Stop giving this nigga your time and your energy. I don't give a fuck if it is for a check. Play that nigga for the left to the left, cause the arguing is just driving me nuts. So he brings up the babysitters and having too many influences over their kids. And Mel was like, your cousin isn't a babysitter. And she watched him for a few hours. Once again, like I said, why have these conversations with him when you know he full of shit? You know he full of shit. You know he's just doing this shit to argue with you, to have a reason to talk to you, to get under your skin, to see if you still care. And you fall for it every time because it's obvious that you do still care. She might not ever go back to him, but she still care. So Mel checks him on her schedule and who had them and what was going on. And like I said, why are you even doing all of that? Why? You don't owe that nigga shit. You know you a good mama. You know that you ain't just throwing your kids off to anybody. So why even participate? So he asks that she give him the first right to watch the kids when she's working because he got all the free time in the world. That nigga's on unemployment. He damn near about to get an EBT card. So um she was like, if I want my kids with me, I'm gonna have them with me. File a petition. Point blank MV period. That's what I would have said from the jump. File a petition. Good day. Good day, mates. And I would have exited stage left. Because at this point, it's obvious that if even Martell is being serious, he's only being serious because that nigga don't want to pay child support and he wants to get child support because this nigga ain't got no money coming in. So Martell was like, I can continue to put the kids first. I get the girls' hair done. And Mel was like, I get the girls' hair done. I was getting the girls' hair done for a whole year. When I left, who was paying? Because you didn't have any money to pay for shit. I was like, put that nigga ass on blast. His little bitch ass gonna talk. I got it now. I got it now, like a little female, like a little bitch. And she was like, well, do what the judge ordered and file a fucking petition, nigga, and got the fuck up and exited. And I was like, that's what you should have did in the first place. Stop giving that big marble milk dud head ass nigga your motherfucking time and energy. But baby, the best part of this whole motherfucking episode was what's to come at the rest of it for the rest of this season. We see Miss Vanessa, my home girl, checking a few bitches. I was like, Lord, they done made Miss Vanessa come out of her holy cloth. Y'all better leave Miss Vanessa alone. I told y'all there will be no Miss Vanessa slander on this channel. I'm tired of Tisha. I'm tired of her mama. And I'm happy that there's somebody her age to get her ass together. I see I'm going to have to continue to get Martell and his ghetto ass mama to fuck together. She's sitting up here co-signing her son's foolishness. And that's why he act the way he do, because she's an enabler with her funky ass hair. Girl looking a mess. Looking like she Rick James' godmother or somebody. Girl, and then the biggest part of it all, Mel New Boo makes his appearance at her video premiere, and Martell gonna have a motherfucking fit when he gets down on one knee and places a ring on her finger. Was it an engagement ring? No, it was a ring, but it wasn't an engagement ring. But regardless of the fact that nigga gonna have a motherfucking fit and throw a tantrum and who is he? Who is he? And what he doing and where he at, girl? And she got to remind this nigga, I am not your woman no more, nigga. You fumbled the bag, sir. Get over it. Skirt, skirt. Baby, I can't wait to see the rest of this season. Mel and Martell are carrying this shit. They are not fumbling the ball at all. I cannot wait for the rest of this season. Let me know what y'all thought about tonight's episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.